Hey, what's up everyone? It's your buddy Matt here. Welcome back to my channel. Now, it has been about 2 or 3 weeks since we got this old Yardman lawn tractor roaring once again from who knows how many years of hibernation. That doesn't mean I haven't been toiling away on it. Check out what I filmed basically a couple minutes after I stopped the previous video. I continued working on it. This is what I did as far as general maintenance and tune-up. That's a quick little update on the old basket case. We'll call it a Yard Man 2-cylinder. I ended up blowing it down, brought it to the front of my garage, blew it down. Changed the oil on it, drained the old stuff out. There was actually a little bit too much oil in it. And by a little bit, I mean probably about twice as much as it should have had. Filled it back up, some fresh 10W30 full synthetic and a little bit of Lucas oil additive to give it a little hand. Then I changed the fuel lines. I ended up putting snowmobile fuel on. I didn't have any 1/4 inch black gas line, so I just used snowmobile. Put a new fuel filter on it. I took the plugs out, I cleaned them out. You know, they looked all right. They looked like typical old Briggs and Stratton spark plugs, but still usable. The thing starts up pretty great, still starts up well. But right before I was gonna test it out, I noticed, look at this. I'm gonna grab the blade from underneath. That bearing is shot, so for a safety perspective, I am not going to be using this tractor until I check out and change probably that bearing. Not so sure what I'm going to use it for. You know, I don't really need another lawn tractor. We'll see how we like it compared to the old Cub Cadet, and yeah, this could become the #1 tractor of my stable. And let me tell you, that well-deserved tune-up has paid off. Now, I noticed that this engine appears to be burning some oil, but true to the old Briggs and Strattons, check out how well this thing starts in comparison to my 2-cylinder Kohler Cub Cadet. This is how my Cub Cadet starts after 3 days of not running. Now let's see how this thing starts after 2 or 3 weeks of not running. Need I say more? Let's get this old guy in the garage to continue our tune-up. All right, so I know what you're thinking. Does this smell like burning pee? As a matter of fact, it does. Regardless, let's get this deck off and check out what's going on with that bearing. So we got the cover off over here. Took the pulley off with the impact wrench and also used my little impact driver. I mean, I'm more of a, you know, of a manual ratchet type of guy, especially when I'm doing my leisure mechanics. But I just felt like taking off 25 little cap screws was a little bit too much for my wrist. So you can see that this bearing is absolutely shot. I wanted to take a look. This thing has a timing belt, which I find pretty cool. Maybe this is standard stuff, but you know, I'm not a big garden tractor fanatic. So yeah, this is it just looks like nice technology to me. So we're gonna go ahead and flip this guy around, and I know that the bearing is held on from a cup underneath. Let's go explore what's going on there. All right, so I can already tell it's going to be a pleasure to take apart. I got the 3 nuts that were holding on this flange. I believe that this flange is what the bearing is in, but I'm gonna have to take off this blade flange or what, and it seems like it's on a spline. So let's give it some sauce and let it sit a bit, and I'll go and get, come on, Can, and I'll go get my puller, and we'll see if we can persuade this guy off the shaft. So good news is I found a puller. Bad news is it's my little baby puller. The only other puller I have is my jumbo puller. To give you an idea, you know, this is my size 11 boot next to it. Don't judge me. You probably don't even have either of these types of pullers. But in all seriousness, I guess my medium-sized puller is misplaced for the time being. So yeah, let me try it with this little guy. Maybe it's not that seized on. Just maybe. Okay, so let's break that small puller. Well, that was surprising. We ended up getting it off. So lucky me. Let's get that bearing cap off and see what the bearing looks like underneath. Okay, so not so sure whether or not I broke this piece off, or I just ended up cracking it because it was seized on so tight. At least now we see our bearing, so we'll continue disassembling, and we'll determine whether or not this is defective or not. Okay, so this is worthwhile seeing over here. I guess to the question, did this thing run for a long time with a defective bearing? I'd say the answer is yes. From the top, it doesn't appear all that damaged. I mean, the seal is still there, but I actually have metal flakes, you know, packed, grinded up steel flakes. Looks like it's pieces of bearing. I guess the race and everything would have gotten chewed up and mangled. The good news is that the bearing flange appears to be okay. Okay, me again. I'm getting the sneaking suspicion that I'm disassembling it upside down because I kind of feel like this is probably part of the shaft, but this guy was actually sandwiched in between the bearing and this little shoulder over here. And I have a hunch maybe everything gets sort of pre-assembled and I should have fit the whole assembly on from the bottom, you know, including this flange and everything. Maybe I'm taking it apart upside down and I ended up just, you know, cracking and bending this over the shoulder. So we're probably going to flip back over and see about taking it apart from the other side because I'm not sure that this bearing can come off in this direction because of this shoulder over here. All right, so I flipped it back over, I put the nut back on, and I ended up giving it about 200 Herculean-style blows. I had ball bearings flying out everywhere. I think there's another bearing up over here. There would have been two bearings, and the shaft does go down, and I think that it was that top bearing that was giving me the problem, so... All right, so I pulled the shaft out from underneath, and sure enough, I mean, this bearing, definitely not good. This bearing, definitely not existent. So, yeah, this thing just blew apart. The good news is I have two brand new bearings for it, so let's go ahead and replace those, and most probably do the other side just for good measure. You guys like this? I had to... borrow the neighbor's setup, so we're gonna press these bearings off, or at least what's left of them. It appears to be working. So we got everyone pushed up to the top and gonna disassemble it, but so far not looking too good, not looking too good for me. All right, so where to begin? Not only is this shaft crooked, the bearing areas where the bearings were seated are pretty much chewed up. So I knew the bottom one was slightly damaged because the bearing was loose on it, but the top one, the race that we just removed was really seized onto the shaft, and that kind of gave me hope that the shaft would be in good condition, at least there. And worst comes to worst, we could have punched this one up and used a bit of Loctite maybe, but this shaft is really chewed up. Good news is that we confirmed that it is a 6204 bearing, but that appears to be the least of my concerns right now. Now, I suppose I could, try to bend that shaft back sort of straight and maybe weld up to try to metalize the recessed area where it's all worn out, but I don't know. Is the tractor worth it? And then again, is it worth, the $60 or $70 it's going to cost to get another shaft? I don't know. Let's take apart the second one and see what the condition of the other one is. And then we'll determine how much money we want to put on this tractor, because I didn't even know if I'm going to be using it really. Okay, so let's take what we learned from taking apart the first one incorrectly to try to do the second one the proper way. Take everything off from the top downwards. All right, so that came out quite a bit easier than the other side. Like I said, trick is take the nut off the top and just bang the whole thing out the bottom. The keyway, unfortunately, remained seized onto the timing pulley, which, by the way, is in good condition on this side. And that damaged slightly the threads, but we can fix that. That's not that big of a deal. Other than that, this shaft, I didn't take the blade off yet, but yeah, this shaft looks great. So that's good news. Same thing over here. The bearings are, the bearings are okay, but changing them will not be a luxury. Bearing housings are good. Everything on this side appears to be good. We also have this spacer here that the other one on the other side was a little bit worn, so we can measure this one to see exactly how worn the other one is in case we have to get one made up. Yeah, I really don't know what to do right now. Like I said, how much money do I want to put on this thing, that long shaft? I checked real quick and it looks like it's about $60 or $70. I would like to try to find maybe a used one. If I go hound around the internet, I might be able to find that. I got to think about it. So if you look over here, I got the deck all sort of reassembled, all the parts and bags, all organized. For the time being, I am not replacing that shaft. I'll see if I can find a good used one, maybe put $20 or $30 on it, but I don't think I'm going to invest a lot of money. I took off some guarding on the world famous Yardman in order to shoot out all the mouse residue. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, it does smell like pee-pee when it gets warm. Not anymore. Blew it all out. There's some nasty stuff in there. So took the deck off. That way we can use it as a tractor. No more belt. And let's take it out for a little spin. I'll show you how much torque it has in the hills. Starts fabulously. Look at that. Didn't even have to go full throttle. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one. Signing out.